And they took something that God had sanctified and they said, no, we are going to now rename it into what we want it to be. And we allowed it. They said, we can do that. All right, now we can redefine, since we redefined marriage, let's redefine what a man and a woman is. Since God made Adam, a man had an XY chromosome and a woman had an XX chromosome. There was always a definition of man and a woman. And then you know what? They said, no, that's not it anymore. What is a man and a woman? Whatever we say it is.
Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all for joining me here today. All right. I'm coming off a high right now. I actually got a chance to attend my very first Trump rally, and I'm sure it'll be my last. But you guys, it's so amazing. Check out my live videos. I have 3 live videos of the Trump rally. You're not going to want to miss out on those. But today we are talking about Vince Everett Ellison. Vince Everett Ellison recently visited a church in Jackson, Tennessee, and he is talking about unity in the body of Christ, which we desperately need. But before we get into it, don't forget to like this video, comment, share, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell. Watch the video to the end. Let's get into it.
When we were smaller, they did. We knew them. They were our neighbors. We understood what they taught. We understood what they did. This has changed. It's completely changed. We don't know what they're teaching them. We don't know what they're learning. We have to get control of this and fast.
And I just want to say that Vince is talking about right now, he's talking about the teachers, what they're teaching the children in the schools. And we have to get a control of this right now.
I woke up one day and I turned on the television and I saw men in dresses and drag queens actually standing up, shaking their behinds in our children's faces. And I said, what is this? Where did this come from? How did this happen? Actually, men in dresses dancing in front of small children. We find out that in the state of Tennessee, the Vanderbilt Hospital was doing sex change operations on children. The Tennessee legislature changes it, and then the Biden administration takes Tennessee to court, the Supreme Court, to demand that there be no age limit on sex change operations to children. How do you get here? You get to a point where you can abort a child up to the day that it is born. This is government policy. We look around and there are men in dresses in Washington, D.C. sashaying around, representing the government of the United States of America in front of the world. And I ain't just talking about, sometimes you look at transgender and they can confuse you. I'm talking about an ugly man in a dress. Ain't no doubt he a man in a dress. And he gonna stand up there with an attitude and tell you to call him ma'am. And if not, he gonna try to get you fired from your job. And instead of us saying, man, you better get out of my face, we say, okay, we'll do it to keep the paycheck. We've allowed a culture where we allow demented men in dresses to go into the bathrooms with our wives and our children, with our daughters, and watch them urinate. And we all can remember times, if you caught a man in a bathroom with your wife and your children, you had carte blanche to just beat him down. And the police will come in and take him to jail. Now they'll take you to jail. We've gotten a culture where they're trying to make it legal for a man as big as me to swim against or do sports against a little girl that's 120 pounds. And if the daddy come up and say something about it, they put the daddy in jail. You better shut up and let this man do this to your wife and your daughter. And we allow it?
Woo, he's very powerful, Speaker Vince Everett Ellison. And again, this is at Poplar Heights Baptist Church in Jackson, Tennessee. I got to say, what he's talking about right now, this is communism. This is a dictatorship, allegedly. This is what they try to accuse Donald Trump of. Donald Trump is not trying to tell you how to raise your children, how to educate them. He's not trying to do that. He is the opposite of a dictator. But the media gets out here and covers for the Democrats, and they get to do all this legislation against parents. Parents are losing control, parental authority over children. All of my kids are grown right now. So, but still, one day, hopefully, I will have grandchildren, biological grandchildren, and I want them not to be faced with this right here. This is serious. The right person needs to be in office. Now, it's like we have an upside down system of calling good evil and evil good. Instead of locking up the person that's the perpetrator, we lock up the person who is telling on the perpetrator, who is the innocent victim. That's where we are with the current administration. And if Kamala was to get her behind in office,
They're taking it too far. In our Bible, after Elijah had killed all the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel, Jezebel sent him a letter to tell them that she was going to kill him. Elijah took out a running. Passed out in exhaustion, told God, Lord, go ahead and kill me, because if Jezebel get hold of me, it's going to be real bad for me. Just take me out. I'm the only prophet that you have in Jerusalem. God told Elijah, I have 7,000 men in Jerusalem, never bowed a knee to Baal. No, kiss his lips. Elijah didn't know who they are. They had not been activated. I believe we got those types of men here in America. It's more than 7,000 that have never bowed a knee to this foolishness. Refuse to bow to it. Now you need time for you to be activated. You've been asleep too long. And see, you can walk around and play with a sleeping a lion for a long time while he's asleep. But when he wake up, yeah, he gonna make you back down. And it's time for the lion and us to wake up. It's time for the Christian men and women to stop fighting over foolishness. You don't fight in a burning house. You come together and said, we are going to stop fighting until this fire is out. Then we can start arguing about stupid stuff like flags and monuments and foolishness like that. But right now, they're trying to kill our children. And they got us fighting over foolishness. Foolishness. Mao Zedong and Chiang Kai-shek was in a civil war in China, fighting, trying to kill one another. Japan took advantage of their fighting and invaded China. Mao had Chiang Kai-shek cornered, could have killed him. And he told Chiang, no, we got to join forces and stop this civil war. And we got to fight the Japanese right now. And when we get them out of China, we might can start our fight back. But right now, we got to run them out of our country because they are using our division to destroy our nation. Chiang Kai-shek and Mao came together, ran the Japanese out, started the civil war back, and Mao beat it. But they got the Japanese out of their country first. It is time for Christians to set aside their differences, come together and form a fist and beat these devils back. They're not coming, they're here. And they're not playing. Because just in case you hadn't noticed, you check the census and you'll find out America's dying. I'm not talking about figuratively. I'm talking about literally. We have to have a 2.1 reproduction rate in order to stay where we are, stay constant. 2.1. That means every couple has 2 children, and America stays where it is. To grow, we need more than that, but to stay where we are, we need to be at 2.1. Guess where we are, y'all? We're at 1.6. And we've been there for almost 10 years now. It's a death spiral. You know when it started? When the Supreme Court passed Arborville versus Hodges, the case that made gay marriage legal. And they took something that God has sanctified, and they said, no, we are going to now rename it into what we want it to be. And we allowed it. They said, we can do that. All right, now we can redefine, since we redefined marriage, let's redefine what a man and a woman is. Since God made Adam, a man had an XY chromosome and a woman had an XX chromosome. There was always a definition of man and a woman. And then you know what? They said, no, that's not it anymore. What is a man and a woman? Whatever we say it is. We allowed it. They tell us they can control the weather. Climate change. Y'all give us enough money, we can control hurricanes and tornadoes. And we said, show up. And I was, are you that stupid? And they're selling it to the American people. If it was climate change causes Earth, climate change, I mean, you can't control the weather. They've been telling that lie since the beginning of time. And we're falling for it again. People, this is insanity. It's not new. Countries have been taken over by crazy people ever since the beginning of time. Nero took over Rome. Caligula took over Rome, named his horse as one of the consuls. Destroyed the country. Crazy. Hitler took over Germany. Crazy. Crazy. And here's the thing about crazy people. Crazy people think sane people are crazy. They think people with sense are crazy. So what does a crazy person do? They surround themselves with people like them, other crazy people. And then you get a bunch of crazy people running a country with $7 trillion budget, doing crazy stuff. And we're sitting back as a nation watching this insanity around us. And if nobody starts talking about it, you start thinking you crazy. Yeah. Right. Oh, there's something wrong with you if you don't accept a drag queen shaking his mind on your child page. You don't want crazy. You don't want crazy if you don't let nobody keep you from praying to your God where you want to pray. You don't want crazy if you don't let them take your gun away because of what somebody else did. He killed the person. Well, Vince, I'm going to take your gun because he killed somebody. Collective punishment. You're crazy if you want your child to have a Bible Christian-based education. You're the one that's crazy now. It's like in the book, in the great movie, it was Moby Dick. Ahab, the captain, had lost his mind because Moby Dick had taken his leg, and he had conned the fishing men of the Pequod to go after the white whale to help him kill him. He wanted to kill Moby Dick. Revenge was on his mind. But he had to get them to agree. Ahab gives this rip-roaring speech. He was crazy, but he was charismatic. And he got all these guys that started screaming, "That's the Moby Dick, that's the Moby Dick, that's the Moby Dick." And the only guy that kept his head was the second in command. His name was Starbuck. And Starbuck looked around and he said, "I see a madman beget more madmen. What has happened to the men of the Pequod? For I know not one of you. Salah!" And I say that about America. I see a madman beget more madmen. I look around, I see madness all around me. And I'm saying, what has happened to the men of America? What's happened to the boys of D-Day that saw this madness in Germany and said, we're going to stop it? Saw this madness in Japan and said, we're going to stop it. They saw the madness of communism that said that God doesn't exist. And we said,
Yeah, sorry about that, but he's preaching a lot. Oh, gosh. I know he's not a preacher. He's not. He's a speaker. He's an author, political commentator. Vince Everett Ellison, he's got his books down there on the floor at the podium. But crazy men beget more crazy men. And you'll think you're going crazy. Like sometimes I'll be talking to people in my family. Aside from people in my house, the people in my house, we support Donald Trump for president. All four of us voted for him. But everybody else in our family is for Kamala Harris. They are not looking at policy. They're looking at the news. They're looking at the which is not telling the truth. The Democrat-controlled media is not telling the truth. They are out here lying to the masses. And then we're being literally programmed to think a certain way because a lot of us are not careful about what we let in our gates, eyes, and ears. And I keep saying this till the cows come home. Be careful, warriors, about what we let into us. Music, movies, TV shows, even being around a group of people that are a certain way. You know, you can't be outnumbered and let them dictate to you how to be because you'll start questioning yourself. But that's what happens. There's so many people that are indoctrinated that there are some of us who are not, that would go along with what God says. We be around them and we start questioning ourselves. We're not wrong. We're not crazy. Don't let them do this.
You can't bring this over here. We stopped it. And now we stopped the madness. Now the madness is taking us over. We become what we said we were going to stop. We have a foreign policy now that tells nations, unless you kill your children in the womb, you can get no help from the United States of America. Sorry, y'all. Getting a little excited here. We have a foreign policy that says, unless you accept men marrying men and women marrying women, you can get no help from the United States of America. We have a foreign policy that says that if you do not agree that men can control the weather, you're not going to get any help from the United States of America. We started transporting insanity and anti-Christian bigotry all over the world. The United States of America is being called satanic by other nations in the world and an anti-Christian nation. And they look at us and say, look at them, they're dying. They're dying. China found out it was dying, they're trying to reverse it. Putting together all kinds of programs to try to reverse it. Vladimir Putin and Russia said the same thing. Y'all ain't bringing that LGBTQ transgender mess over here. Wow, we're dying, we got to turn it back. What America said, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Bill Clinton the other day let it slip. He said, we're beyond the rate of sustaining our population. We're at 1.6. So now we have to bring in the illegals to replace you. He admitted you're being replaced. He didn't say we need to stop killing our children.
Wow.
We need to stop the death spiral. No. You're being replaced. You know what? You think a little bit too much of yourself. You're Americans. This is not new. What did Pharaoh say when he found out the children of Israel was having too many children? If the girl child comes, let her live. If the boy child comes, kill him. Kill him. Told the midwives to kill him. Is that new? Hitler didn't like the Jews. What did he do? Kill them. Replace them. Put them in ovens. Stalin didn't like the kulaks. What did he do? Kill them. Replace them. Governments have always replaced the citizens that they find too troublesome and expendable. We're being replaced. We're getting to a point where God is going to take his hands off of this country. Now, what must we do? We as Christians must come together as one. All races, all creeds. Jesus' last prayer before he went to the cross was a prayer of unity for us to be together. And then he commanded that we love one another. Mm-hmm. That we love one another. But we have a side that says no justice, no peace. When Jesus Christ said, my peace I leave with you. See how contradictory that is? Mm-hmm. We have a side that says that they're dreaming about a day that you will not be judged by the color of your skin. When Jesus Christ said you're not supposed to be concerned about how you're viewed by man. I'm not concerned about how you view me. I love you. Our Bible is replete with instructions for us not to be concerned about how we're viewed by man. He said people that follow man or try to please man set a trap for themselves. Wow. We're dreaming about a day that we'll be accepted by men. Can man stop anything that Jesus Christ has preordained for you? That's a question. Can he?
No.
Then why do we ask the question? Why are we marching? We beg government when Jesus Christ has told you, I got you.
That's right.
I'm your father. Do you doubt that I'll do good to you? But instead, marching, fighting, begging. And what has happened? America's dying. We're dying. We have to go back to what our Bible says. It's binary. There's no flaw in the gospel of Jesus Christ. None whatsoever. Love one another. Be good to one another. Show forbearance to one another. Because as you deal with a government that is making it illegal for you to pray to your God, illegal. No, you can't pray to him unless you are in your church or behind the doors of your home. And then they're going to tell you, and they're trying to get this right now, that you have no right to even teach your religion to your children. Yes.
What?
You can pray to yourself. Don't pray to that child.
Oh, well, that's not happening here. Okay. You guys, I'm going to leave the link to the description to the full video in the description below. And you all know that I am very vocal. Okay. And that is why I want Donald Trump back in the White House, because one of the things that's most important to me is freedom. He just finished talking about that here. Freedom of religion. We should, and see, they're trying to get the parents, take away parental authority over the children. You can pray to yourself, but you can't teach to your child. You can't pray over your child. What? And then the people that think they're women shaking their butts in your child's faces, the drag queens shaking their butts in front of little children, hurting the children, and the parents can't say anything. You know that is of the devil. You know the Bible says, honor your father and your mother, to obey your parents who are in the Lord. Everything that the current administration, this current one, Biden and Harris, they want to continue this godlessness, this antithetical to the word of God movement. But what God has will be. It will be. Because God is in control. And yes, I get fired up. Just like Vince Everett Ellison was dropping stuff, falling off the podium. When you're passionate and it's just in you, I will not be silent. I'm a warrior. Okay. Let the warriors wake up. Stop being the silent majority and be loud. Everybody else is out of the closet. We need to be out of the closet. We see what's going on in the government. Now they're saying it's illegal to pray to your God the way you want to raise their children the way you want to. You can't get in the way of any kind of sex operations on your child. Parents, you can't say anything no matter how young your child is. This is it sounds like allegedly a depopulation movement to reduce the population. We've got abortion. We've got the changing of bodies going on. So it's just so reprehensible to me. And we have to pray, warriors, that the scales fall off the eyes of those that we know and love, or whether it's just people, period, even if we don't know or love them. We need to be praying for the Spirit of God, a revival on the American people, the country, and an international revival, not just America. We need it in Australia, the UK, Africa, the Middle East, everywhere. Okay, Jesus is Lord. He is Lord. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like this video, comment, share, subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Hit the notification bell, make sure it works. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America, and march on, warriors.